Hi guys, I'm CinnamonToastKen, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa. And if you're still here watching this, then thank you very much. I love you. It's a pretty good series, I think. I really enjoyed playing this game. So in the last episode, we did a lot of investigating, and we got to be Nagito for a little bit, and we got to be inside of his head and do some exploring with him, and we played a death game and figured out that Hajime, our main character, has no talent. He's just a regular person, according to the file that we have. And also that the killings that are taking place in this game heavily resemble the killings in order from the first game. So a possible suicide kind of theme is probably going to play in to this case a little bit. Assisted suicide. And this big, huge bear head just popped up in the middle of the floor also. So, here we go.
All right!
I'm gonna go! Just hold on, Nekimaru. I'll make sure I avenge you! Jeez, at least be a little cautious. It's obviously a trap. We also changed voices because all my favorite voices have died. I agree. To detect the scent of danger, even my familiars are saying, do not go inside.
It's nearly showtime!
How interesting. If you can kill me, you're welcome to try. Try stabbing your sword through my very heart. Well, then, shall we get going as well?
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It's knowing, but if Miss Anya's going, there's no way I'm not gonna go.
Damn it!
It's so damn annoying. I guess it doesn't matter if it's a trap or not. One by one, everyone went into Monokuma Rock until I was the only one left when I was about to step forward. We're the same. The same stepladders. Huh? Nagato was suddenly standing next to me with his eyes locked on to Monokuma Rock. Other than the small movements of his mouth, he was perfectly still. You and I are just stepladders. For everyone who holds the title of Ultimate, I always believed that I didn't mind. Unlike you, I know my place. What are you saying?
Man.
That's why I was prepared to become a sacrifice at any time, and from that, true hope would be born. I always believed that the talent that survived would be true hope.
Damn it.
But it wasn't. There's no hope amidst this killing. Oh! Well, there's no hope from this? Of course there isn't. What kind of hope comes from killing people?
What?
Really? Are you suggesting that sacrificing others for hope isn't real hope? But you're wrong. It's only natural to and extremely obvious that strong hope devours weak hope.
Isn't that right?
After all, that's what it means to live, right? There's no way I'm going to accept that. No, well, it's not like that's what I wanted to say to you anyway.
Hey.
There's this one novel I like. A peculiar mystery story. A novel? The story is told from a point of view of a high school girl involved in the serial killer mystery. And when you get to the end, surprise, surprise, the girl is actually the killer. Of course, the story is written carefully so the reader doesn't learn the ending in the middle of the story. The protagonist is just a projection of the reader, and this projection turns out to be the killer, which means the killer you were looking for the whole time was inside you all along. How do you feel about novels like that? The heck are you talking about? You're just jumping from one topic to another. And I can't come in on a book I've never read before.
No good at all.
Such a normal answer. I should have expected that from a talentless, reserved student, course student like you. Blah. He's trying to tell me that I'm the killer? That I'm the reason this is all happening? He's trolling me. But I know you don't matter at all, so why do I care about you? You admire hope. I love hope.
Right?
In some ways we're similar, but maybe that difference is what's making me so emotional. Enough already. I don't have time to argue with you. Let's go. Everyone's waiting.
Man.
Everyone, huh? So you still believe you're just like everyone else? Reserve course students are so full of themselves. Nagito's chilling laugh continued as he disappeared into Monokuma Rock. Calm down. That's right. I need to calm down. I took several deep breaths, and once my nerves had settled, I stepped into Monokuma Rock. The elevator shook violently as it descended, at ever-increasing speed.
Hey.
We're in a normal elevator that shakes as bad. It reminds me of how efficient the elevator in the funhouse was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. The elevator continues to shake and descend deeper and deeper, and then suddenly, it stopped like it always does. And the door opened. Ooh, pretty.
Well now.
I understand your desire to applaud this wonderfully vulgar trial ground, but it's so exhausting to discuss useless things, so let's just get on with it already. Oh, so sad, my chest hurts. Forcing everyone to do this is so sad.
Hey, come
Don't
on
go
now.
talking without permission, I've said my catchphrase.
Now I'm really
Until after I
angry.
said my catchphrase, I'm not reading correctly anymore. Otherwise, I'll roll a dice and based on the results, I'll give you a sex change operation that many times. What extreme punishment.
Now then.
Let's get on with it once again. Let's get a move on, boys and girls. And so it begins. I hope this will never happen again, and now it's happening for the 4th time. The curtain of the 4th class trial is about to open. Nekomaru Nadai, the ultimate team manager. He was more passionate, more daring, more honest than anyone I'd ever met. Truly, he was more man than any of us. He sacrificed his body to protect Akane, and his appearance changed drastically because of that. But he still tried to live earnestly. And when I finally got used to his new form, Nekomaru's killer is one of us. Killing someone because it's the only way to survive is no excuse. I won't let this be excused. I won't forgive this. The person who betrayed Nekomaru. You know, I was just noticing of how only Akane is still in my little picture here. I have a feeling that she is going to be a killer at some point, and it's only going to be me. It just, I don't know, it kind of adds to the dramaticness of this picture if it's just me alone, you know? I don't know. Anyway. Who betrayed the friends? I will never, ever forgive them. And so, this life-threatening trial, building with hope and despair, has begun. Yeah, sure, we'll save. Alright, I get to set some skills. I should probably actually buy some skills, can I? Open handbook. Hey, Pat. How are you doing, you little poops? Okay. So, if the wire was tied to the doorknob, and let's say that the room rotates maybe, or even moves up and down or something, the room moves, right? So then it would have pulled him, right? Maybe pulled him against the pillar, knocking the pillar over, hitting him. Maybe that's why his body fell apart, because he was getting crushed. Someone put him to sleep in the room, set him up, and then left him. And they wanted them to come through the grape door, so that's why the button on strawberry door is broken, right? Trial! All rise!
Now then,
It is
let's
time.
begin with a simple explanation
I need
of
a
the class
Monokuma bear hat.
trial.
That'd be awesome.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote
done it?
correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. I'm sure you guys are starving by now, but let's get revved up and raring to go.
I have high expectations for this case. I feel like there's a lot of character development that's happened between Nagito and myself, and it just seems like an interesting case, and I hope it is. And not like Sakura's case in the first game, which was complete trash.
Whoever survives will be treated to a fancy lunch. Guess what? Rabbit curry is on the menu.
Huh? I'm not the main ingredient, right?
I'm here today because Coach Nekomaru risked his life to protect me. I'm gonna be the one who avenges him. I'll definitely find out who the killer is.
But you did like no investigation.
Definitely not tempted by curry. Got it?
Akane, you seem to have an impressive amount of drool flowing from your mouth.
Hey, why don't we try going over the incident? We weren't able to leave Strawberry House, so I want to make sure we get a
I discovered Nekomaru's body a little before 7 a.m. I headed over to Grape Tower from Monokuma Taichi and found the body there. Hajime and Chiaki were also with me.
Hajime was with Miss Sonia and Chiaki that early in the morning? Don't tell me you three were together since last night!
Imbecile! I am not some woman with flexible legs.
Of course you're not. You're much classier than that.
With legs like those, I could probably do the splits real easy.
We just happened to run into each other on the first floor of Grape House and went to the tower together.
And then, the three of us discovered Nekomaru's body.
The body discovery announcement was made soon after. Akane heard that and rushed over.
We heard the body discovery announcement too, from Strawberry House. As I recall, we found out the elevator was out of order, which left us stuck.
So we decided to go to the tower for the time being and headed for Strawberry Hall. But someone even broke Strawberry Hall's door button. We couldn't go anywhere because of that.
Thinking we should at least find some method to communicate, we set our sights on the lounge telephone.
Forget these boring intros. Let's talk about the killer. Anyway, it's definitely someone from Strawberry House.
What do you mean, definitely?
There's no way a chick would kill someone so cruelly. So it must be one of you Strawberry House dudes. One of you better hurry up and confess, or I'll break all of you in half!
You're the cruelest one here!
Now. Enough with the lovers' quarrel. We need to think about this seriously. We don't have the luxury of discussing irrelevant things. The incident this time has many questions.
The incident notwithstanding, I also have many questions.
Then let's start with something even Miss Sonia can understand. The weapon. Well, the weapon is obvious, right? What the heck, you guys? The weapon! You can totally tell just by looking.
It wouldn't be much of a mystery if that were true. The only thing the crime scene looked like a weapon was probably... Make your argument. So he's like, huh? Alright. See what we got here.
I guess we should figure out the weapon first.
The weapon was right there at the scene of the crime.
That pillar, huh?
Hey, baby.
No, the hammer! The killer used that hammer and beat the crap out of him.
If it was unexpected, I suppose that is possible.
That's right. It was a surprise beating. The weapon is decided.
Alright, so what should the argument be here? A beating. There we go.
No,
It's new
that's
looking,
wrong.
though. That's wrong. I got it.
No, I can't accept that that hammer was the murder weapon.
Why not? Why can't you accept it?
A lot of oil was flowing from Nekomaru's body. Just like human blood, right? If the hammer was used to beat Nekomaru, you'd expect some oil to be on it at least.
But that hammer was clean. So that's why you can't accept that it's the murder weapon.
Well, yeah, but the killer might have wiped off the oil later.
Why?
Well, obviously, to make the hammer look like it's not the murder weapon.
Then why bother cleaning the oil? If they didn't want it to look suspicious, they would have discarded the hammer.
You're pretty insightful, baby gangsta.
Baby gangster? Me?
Just so y'all know, I was trying to test you guys. I thought, maybe you guys mistook the hammer for the weapon or something.
It seems that was a waste of time.
Then what was the real weapon used to murder Nekomaru?
That's the problem. There wasn't anything else at the crime scene that looked like a potential weapon.
Then, how about we look at it from a different angle? If it doesn't have oil on it, it's not the weapon. So whatever has oil on it must be the weapon.
What had oil on it? The broken pillar.
I see.
Got it.
The only thing with oil on it is that broken pillar.
Then that pillar is the weapon. Coach Nekomaru got clobbered with that pillar.
Nobody could withstand a blow from that pillar. Even if you used 100% of your muscle strength, it would be impossible to wield it as a weapon.
Why?
We tried to move it, right?
It's barely budging.
Yeah, that pillar was pretty freaking heavy. But there's one dude who could have lifted that pillar.
Huh? Who are you talking about?
Coach Nekomaru's robot body. With that dude's super strength, lifting a pillar would be real easy.
So, he lifted the pillar, and then what? Did he use it to beat himself?
You mean Nekomaru killed himself?
Don't be stupid! He ain't the type to commit suicide!
Then even if Nekomaru could have lifted that pillar, it has nothing to do with the case of...
Well, I guess you're right.
What the heck?
But it does bother me a little. The word suicide. Fourth murder of the killing school is apparently ruled as suicide. That shouldn't matter. There's no way Nekomaru would commit
But that's
suicide.
a problem. If it's not the pillar, then there's no other weapon we can think of.
There may be a way to use the pillar as a weapon without lifting it.
Huh? For reals?
Yes, for reals.
I see. So my gut was right after all. All right, it's up to you, Sonia. Prove that pillar was the murder weapon.
Understood. Then I shall give it my all. Sonia, here I go!
Okay.
There's no need to lift that pillar.
If the pillar was not lifted, beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over? They aimed right for his head and bullseye.
Even I could probably tip it over.
Considering the pillar's weight, it probably exerted a ton of force.
Sonia, you go, girl! I'm getting hella excited!
Kill him or weapon by tipping over the pillar. Is that really it?
There's no need to lift that.
If the pillar was not beating him with it is beyond a dream.
What about tipping the pillar over?
No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. Break.
If Nekomaru was crushed by the pillar, then there should have been fragments on top of his body.
Huh? Fragments?
The pillar fragments were scattered beneath Nekomaru's body, but there weren't any on top of his body. If the pillar had been tipped over and crushed him, the fragments should have been on top of his body instead.
I briefly considered that too, but it's probably not what happened.
I see. That was entirely my bad.
If
Yeah,
they
you're
didn't
bad.
tip it over, then how did the killer murder Nekomaru with that pillar?
How much longer are you gonna focus on the pillar? Just let it go already.
There's no way I can let it go. I'm positive that Nekomaru was killed by that pillar.
Why are you so certain about
I
that?
think I know who did it.
I just have a feeling.
A feeling, huh? That's just your instincts.
But we can't say for sure that that instinct is wrong. There's another way to use that pillar to kill. You guys just haven't noticed it.
Is that true?
Then I shall ask you, what way is that?
You guys, the same as usual. You're unable to clear a path to the future with your own powers, so you just stand there and falter. What a waste of talent. And you all intend to fight the Future Foundation? You make me laugh.
Woo!
What did you say?
Ooh, he's mad.
Regardless, it's not like I want to die with the rest of you. So I guess I should lend a hand.
He doesn't want to die for us anymore.
Hey, Nagito, what the hell happened to you? How come you're not talking like a lunatic anymore?
I've learned a valuable lesson. Ignorance is by far the greatest shame.
Huh? What do you mean?
Who cares? Just tell us how the pillar was used to kill.
So he learned
Well,
something.
First of all, the pillar itself is not enough. But when combined with a specific item, there's a way it could be possible.
A specific item?
Of course, the ultimate weapon.
Ultimate weapon?
Isn't that the thing you get when you clear the final dead room?
So, Nagito knows what the ultimate weapon is?
Of course I know. but I'm pretty sure everyone else has seen it, you know?
We've seen it?
That's right. You've seen it clearly. Because I, the one who has claimed dominion over evil, am the ultimate weapon. I am he who cuts the insolent catalyst which flows out from the chaos with the sword of victory. It's only fitting that I deserve to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, you are far greater than the ultimate weapon, since you wield your 4 dark devas of destruction.
I see.
I don't know why, but I'm not liking this.
Hey.
Cut the bullshit and say it clearly. What is the ultimate weapon?
In order to clarify that, we first need to solve the secret of the funhouse.
Huh? The secret of the funhouse?
You still don't realize it? Jeez, get it together. You're supposed to be the symbols of hope, aren't you? Ah, I forgot. Except for Hajime, of course.
Except for Hajime?
If we make it out of this, I'll explain it to you guys.
Anyway, we must first clarify the secret of the funhouse, right? Then I think it must have something to do with the structure of the funhouse. Strawberry House leads to Strawberry Tower, and Grape House leads to Grape Tower. But in actuality, they are both the same building, and both houses are linked to the central tower. It is undeniable that such a sweet building structure is the secret of the funhouse.
Sweet.
Man, not only does that make perfect sense, but Miss Sonia's beautiful voice is just so soothing.
Faux show! I shall
Faux
leave
show.
this matter to your discretion.
She's been trying to pick up some slang, I guess. She has connecting the tower in the middle of the first door, but I ended up finding proof that completely contradicts that. I think we're in a tower. Strange feeling in the tower?
In truth, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower are actually the exact same place.
What,
No,
strange
that's wrong.
feeling? Are you serious? That's the answer? I was just guessing. Strange feeling in the tower, okay.
Both of those towers, are they really the same place?
What? Why are you asking that now? Do you harbor a grudge because my kingdom destroyed your homeland?
Hajime, I won't tolerate any sort of rebellion.
I mean, doesn't it seem strange? When we went to Grape Tower from Grape Hall, Nekomaru's body was in front of the door to Strawberry Hall. But when we went to Strawberry Tower from Strawberry Hall, his body was in front of the door to Grape Hall.
It's probably some kind of trick, like the floor rotating 180 degrees or something. If it is, then see? That means it could have passed as the exact same place, right?
If so, then what? Do you seriously think such a simple answer is the correct answer?
Does that mean he's wrong?
Oops, I guess I've said too much.
If the floor didn't rotate, then that means we need to think about the structure of the building.
Bow down!
Bow down! God dang it.
Then how about this? Somebody moved Nekomaru's body.
That's stupid.
Well, we were moving from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, but we should have all been together during that time. Even if they tried to move the body inside the tower.
Then Monokuma did it. While we were moving, Monokuma quickly moved things around.
But Nekomaru's body wasn't the only thing moved. Are you saying the broken pillar was moved too?
If it is too heavy to carry, let them roll it. Just like if there is no bread, let them eat cake.
Okay. Rebuttal shut down. Let's see. Wire on the floor. Tip over pillow. Wire. Probably all on the floor.
There are many different ways.
Yeah, past it.
The body and the pillar could have been moved. The pillar could have been rolled. And Nekomaru could have been moved piece by piece. I decree it was Monokuma's doing.
Moving the body and the pillar in such a short time. That might be hard even for Monokuma, don't you think?
It seems you have forgotten. Monokuma is surprisingly wielding the power of the futuristic robo with the pillar, the body, everything at the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words! Moving the body and pillar is possible, but it would have been impossible to move the oil on the floor.
Yeah, this is a dumb argument. Why do we even have this argument?
Huh?
You're stupid. Shut up.
When the position of Nekomaru's body in the pillar changed, the oil surrounding his body moved too. Physically moving all of the oil like that is simply not possible, no matter how you look at it.
Then it's impossible to think it was moved.
I am terribly sorry. I cannot believe I got so fired up.
It's all right. A fired up Miss Sonia is awesome to watch.
So what really happened? Does that mean the two towers aren't the same building?
We can't be certain of that either. Not when the experiment involving the handbook I left on the tower floor was a complete success.
That's because the floor moves.
Yeah, the E-handbook was still there. That's why we thought the two towers were the same building.
If they're not the same building or two different buildings, then what are they?
No idea.
We don't have enough clues to solve that mystery. Then the only thing we can do is rely on the one person that has those clues.
Hey, Nagito. I thought it would come to this. I knew my turn was coming up. Fine. I'll tell you guys a big hint that can help you solve the secret of the funhouse.
Give us the answer, not a friggin' hint.
But then it wouldn't mean anything. I need you guys to do this class trial properly. It's also important for me because it will help me determine something.
Determined? Is he talking about the traitor? So why didn't Nagato say that all of a sudden? Did something happen to
But
him?
how do we know your hint is any good? It's suspicious that you're the only one who knows it.
I think he maybe he suspects that he's actually the traitor and just doesn't know it yet.
I have a good reason for that. The reason I'm the only one who knows it is because I was the only one who performed the appropriate action.
We're to learn the secret you're talking about. The life-threatening game?
I see.
Haha! But he can't be the only
Talking about
one.
the final dead room, right? You cleared the life-threatening game there and found something, didn't you?
That's right. The hint is what I saw after I cleared it. In the depths of the final dead room, there was a hidden room surrounded by concrete. And there, a small conspicuous window waited, all by itself. From that window, I saw some very strange scenery.
Strange scenery?
Instead of explaining it, it might be faster just to show you. At an opportune time, I found a perfect camera in the final dead room.
You took a picture?
Yep.
Nagato grinned creepily as he retrieved a small digital camera from his inner pocket.
See? This is it.
Sentai showed us a peculiar picture.
Let me explain it to you again.
So yeah, this big tower.
I took this
We're not in
picture
space.
on the first floor of Strawberry House, from the secret room within the final dead room. But don't you think it's weird? If the funhouse's structure is what you guys have been thinking, then there's lots of things that don't make sense in this picture, right?
Let's think that should make sense in this
Then
picture.
let's begin. Shall I call it thinking time?
What? That makes sense in this picture. Oh no, how about this? Tower, right? There's only one tower in the picture, that's what we've been thinking all along, which means it's not naturally at all, don't you agree? What? Trees?
Here!
Oh, yeah, the trees!
You said this photo was taken from the hidden room inside the final dead room, right? If that's the case, then that means it should have been taken from the first floor of Strawberry House.
Yeah, it should have been.
Then this is definitely strange. This photo doesn't look like it was taken from the first floor. The angles suggest it was taken from higher up.
I see. And is that it?
A lot of things don't make sense in this photo, which means there's more contradictions contained in it. This makes sense in this picture. Spot selection. The blue sky. Ah, it is the sky. Okay.
If the structure of the funhouse is what we thought it was, Grape House and Strawberry House should link to the tower in the middle, which means If you're viewing the tower from Strawberry House, you should see Grape House behind you. But in this photo, I don't see anything behind the tower. No shadow, no shape, no Grape House at all.
Told you, we're stacked on top of each other.
That's right. Good call. In summary, this is the truth contained in this photo. The first floor of Strawberry House is located in a high area, and Grape House is not behind the tower.
It's not? Are you saying that Grape House is merely an illusion spell cast by Monokuma's cursed eye?
From this point on, do your own thinking. Now that you've finally met the same requirements as me, if you guys are truly symbols of hope, you can easily solve a simple mystery like this. It might be possible for Hajime to solve it too, even though he's just a normal high school student. Despite the fact that you don't have a real talent, you already know about the other clue.
Talk about that one time when he just showed up. What are you doing here? Because I showed up. How did you even come here? Maybe I teleported.
You're referring to when you suddenly appeared on the second floor of Grape House, right?
I'm asking you just to be safe. At the time, where do you think I came from?
The top floor, right?
Such sharp eyes. So you realized it already.
Top floor. So the third floor?
But the Monokuma archive should be the only room on the third floor of Grape House.
What does it mean?
Here's now another figured out mystery of the funhouse structure. The reason I got to appear on the third floor. Using the photo he took, might be able to find the answer. Alright, let's do this. Oh god, no. Logic Drive! Probably the worst game ever. Alright, let's go. Whee! They exist, they're the same building and they're vertical. Wow. All like, it took like 30 minutes to figure out that they're vertical.
Got it. I know the secret of the funhouse.
Then let me hear it. What kind of answer will you give, I wonder?
In the picture Nagito took from Strawberry House, I didn't see Grape House at all. So where did Grape House go? There was only one possibility. It was in a position where it couldn't be seen from Strawberry House. Which means Strawberry House and Grape House are in the same building, but on different floors.
Same building, different floors?
Then the two houses aren't two different 3-story buildings. They're actually one 6-story building?
If you think about it like that, based on Nagito's picture, it's clear where Strawberry House is located.
Oh, the store floors above.
I see!
Yeah!
On top of Grape House. That's where Strawberry House is located. Because of that, the photo taken from the first floor of Strawberry House was at a high angle. Altogether, this means the first floor of Strawberry House is also the 4th floor above Grape House.
Oh snap!
Oh
I
snap!
never expected that the two houses were connected vertically.
But what about the shape of the building? The two houses were completely different shapes.
Strawberry House is 4-sided, and Grape House is 6-sided, right?
It never occurred to us that they were the same building because it was structured with two different shapes. A quadrilateral and a hexagon, overlaid atop each other to misdirect how we would perceive them.
Yeah, but the square fits into it.
And it worked, didn't it? Disregarding the tower, we fully believed the two houses were two separate, distinct buildings.
In order to conceal the unique design of the funhouse, Monokuma put us to sleep so we couldn't look at the outside of the building when he brought us to it.
You've just been Kuma'd! Don't you think a building full of so many surprises totally deserves to be called a fun house?
Then it's true? The building was really like that?
That's right! Those two houses exist on different floors in the same building!
Constructing a building like that on your own without my knowledge? How horrible!
Then what about the towers? Are they arranged vertically just like the houses?
Yeah, Strawberry Tower and Grape Tower should have also been different floors inside the same building. Just like Strawberry House was on top of Grape House,
Told you.
Strawberry Tower was also on top of Grape Tower.
However, if they're different floors within the same building, why was Nekomaru's body in both places?
Aw, your precious hammies don't know? But it's so simple.
What just happened right here is that this is where the internet was messing up yesterday. Kazuichi is all like, "Hey, Sonya, I'm gonna impress you," and she's like, she doesn't care. She doesn't care anything about Kazuichi, and he is trying to say Nekomaru's body was a dummy, and I'm like, no, it's not. And so that's where we are.
Me?
Remember? When we moved from Grape Tower to Strawberry Tower, we thought the body had moved. And that's when you said,
Not just that, the parts that I carefully arranged when I disassembled the body are all moved too.
right up until that moment, you were disassembling Nekomaru's body at Grape Tower, right? The killer couldn't have known how you'd take apart his body, so they couldn't have built a dummy.
It's not a dummy.
Unless Kazuichi was the one who built the dummy, then it would be a different story.
Oh, she doesn't trust him. Oh, snap.
Miss Sonia, that's a pretty harsh joke.
Dot,
You
dot, dot.
are joking, right?
It's alright. Kazuichi is not the killer. If he was, he wouldn't have fixed the elevator or the button in Strawberry Hall. It'd be much more convenient for the killer if it stayed broken.
I see. That is disappointing.
Disappointing.
I'm even more disappointed.
However, even if Nekomaru's body wasn't a dummy, it's meaningless if we don't have the important answer.
The reason Nekomaru's body was in both towers, even though it was supposed to be on different floors.
By the way, I have my guess of who I think did it. And I'll tell you who I think did it when it gets closer to time. But yeah. I should write it down or something. But you won't be able to see it because I can't get it close to the camera without it getting blurry. Oh well, whatever.
Maybe it was simply moved?
The body moved to a different floor?
You can't think of a device like that? A device that moves things to different floors in the same building?
An elevator? Transports things to different floors in the same building. Jesus Christ, am I really having to think that hard about it? I feel like I've seen that before. All right, let's do this. Good Lord. Is it Hangman's Gambit? It better be a freaking elevator. Just ignore, there it is.
I got it!
Good freaking Lord. An elevator? I think I've heard of those before.
You must be talking about an elevator.
Oh.
What? Are you saying Nekomaru's body was transported using an elevator?
Where the hell is this elevator anyway?
It's the tower itself. The inside of the tower is one big elevator. Which means the tower was designed so that the whole room goes up and down like an elevator. So whether you enter from Strawberry Hall or Grape Hall, it all leads to the same room, right?
So that's why we could only enter it from one side or the other.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when I pressed the door button, it took a while for it to open.
I see. We were basically waiting for the room to arrive, just like an elevator.
I'll tell you who I think it is, just because I can't keep it to myself anymore. I think it's Gundam. Either that or Nagito said some weird things, but I don't think it pertains to this murder itself. He was talking about like the main character being the killer the whole time, like the traitor. I think he suspects himself because he was speaking from his point of view. But anyway, I think it's Gundam. Only because, I mean, they went through a lot of effort to make it look like it wasn't from Strawberry, and then the button on the back of the neck. I mean, I think he made his hamster push the button because you remember when he like made a big deal about his hamster pushing the elevator button? It was kind of like, no, that's obvious. You know, and then Sonya's like, oh wow. So I think it's Gundam. That's what I think anyway.
Please hold on. If the inside of the whole tower ascends and descends like an elevator, then why is there a picture of a strawberry on the far back door when you enter from Grape Tower?
Because it just changes.
And a picture of a grape on the far back door when you enter from Strawberry Tower?
If the room just moves up and down like an elevator, there's no reason for the doors to change.
Well, maybe the doors aren't connected. I mean, everything else in the room is just lights, so it's pretty easy for the stuff to change, right?
Plus, after the incident, the far back door in Grape Tower had chains wrapped around it, right? But when we entered Strawberry Tower, those chains were gone.
Not just that, but if I remember correctly, even the doorknob was broken off.
There are too many strange things. Was that tower really an elevator?
When you see people and things, make sure you focus on the good parts instead of the bad.
What did you say?
So, let's put aside what's changed and focus our attention on what hasn't.
Why do we have to do that?
It's fine. Come on. What does everything that hasn't changed have in common?
Things that didn't change would move between the two towers. Includes the body and the pillar and the oil. We've been talking that stuff for a while now. Shouldn't be anything strange about them, knowing the fact that they move with the elevator. The only thing they have in common, they were all on the floor.
I see!
Duh, guys!
Is it safe to say that all the items on the floor didn't change?
Yeah, it's freaking safe to say that. Jesus, it's an elevator.
And?
The floor moved and it goes up to different doors.
And?
Why did the picture on the far back door change? If you can figure that out, you'll have the answer. The reason is because that elevator has something unique about it.
There's something unique about the elevator. Only the floor moves.
I see!
Ah!
So that's it. The elevator was designed so only the floor moved.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, guys. Yeah. You're taking okay, it's really dragging out the most simple stuff, and that really ruins the immersion for me, so pick it up, please.
Only the floor moved?
Which means the whole room wasn't an elevator, only the floor was. That's why we saw different doors in each tower. Which means on the first floor of Grape Tower, the door on the far back wall had a strawberry design. And on the fourth floor, which was Strawberry Tower, a different door on the far back wall had a grape design.
Then, where do the different floors lead?
I want to say they lead outside, but they're probably just for show.
Probably don't go anywhere.
Just for show? Why was something like that necessary?
So we'd falsely believe that the doors were connected to where their picture signified.
Yeah, it was just a big trick,
It was
guys.
actually very effective. Because of that, we totally misunderstood the building's structure.
I don't get it. But I guess it means whoever designed this building had a totally twisted personality.
I don't even know if the design of the building is even really that important to the case, but whatever. I mean, I guess sorta.
Did you hear that, mon ami?
Don't blame this on me. Take responsibility for yourself.
Then I'll take responsibility and gently caress you.
Like, there's no way that's gonna happen. Stop with the tasteless jokes.
By the way, what does the chain on the far back door in Grape Tower mean?
It was probably wrapped there by the killer to keep us as far from Strawberry Tower as possible.
Why?
Because of that chain. You guys thought you couldn't enter there, right?
Yeah, and then they broke the button also. Even if you do the button, what's gonna happen to the chain on the other side of the door? Chain? You mean you fix the door? Yeah, he's like, you don't need to worry about that at all.
The killer destroyed the Strawberry Hall button, so we'd stay away from Strawberry Tower. Everything was done to tamper with the evidence, so we wouldn't find out about the secret of the funhouse.
Yeah, they didn't want anybody to go play the
appearance
death
of a
room because
body
they knew
in
they
the
would.
tower would contradict what we thought we knew about the building. In that situation, if we'd gone to Strawberry Tower, we'd have seen that contradiction firsthand. And using that as a clue, we might have discovered the truth. the truth that the two houses and the two towers are actually one complete vertical building. The killer wanted to keep us from learning that. That's why they made us stay away from Strawberry Tower.
And literally the only reason that they would even care about us figuring that out is because of being able to travel between two floors once you go through the final dead room. So they didn't want anybody to go to the final dead room to figure it out, and the only reason we know anything about it is because Nagito went in there.
They destroyed the button and wrapped a chain around the door just for that?
Would it really have inconvenienced the killer if we learned the true structure of the building?
It would have been a major inconvenience. After all, this funhouse is strongly connected to the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru.
Hold on. You're progressing much too quickly. There's still a contradiction concerning the building structure.
So this is what I think happened to Nekomaru. Since there's a lift, they tied him with the rope to the doorknob, and the lift went down, and he was hanging there. The ultimate weapon is gravity, right? Maybe.
What a pain. It's fine already.
Gundam, please proceed.
You said earlier that Strawberry House and Grape House are connected vertically, right? If so, how does the contact elevator supposedly transport us from one house to the other?
Now that you mention it, I completely forgot about that matter.
If that elevator moves vertically, then when your back is facing the elevator, both towers should be on the same side. But does this reflect reality? Inside Grape House, Grape Hall is on your right when your back is to the elevator. And inside Strawberry House, Strawberry Hall is on your left when your back is to the elevator. Which means the houses are on exact opposite sides of the tower. Answer me, fiend! What does this mean?
What does this mean?
What does this mean? Well, we already know the elevator just turns around. My back's facing the elevator in Grape House. That was my right. How can I break this contradiction? We need
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
Which means your reasoning.
It's clearly contradictory.
What's with this iron curtain of teamwork?
Gundam is only matching arguments. Sounds like it makes sense, but is it really correct?
If the two houses are connected vertically,
The elevator should move.
vertically, not horizontally.
However, at both houses, if the contact elevator is behind you, the towers are in opposite directions.
That's not it. Wait, which? Actually, I should check actually and see what it says for his account. Cause he was the one that checked. Okay, 180 degrees. Yeah.
The elevator should move.
Vertically, not horizontally.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, I got it.
The elevator wasn't just moving vertically.
I can't believe Sonya. She's
Isn't
taking
that right, Kazuichi?
She's taking freaking Gundam's side. That's why she wouldn't give me the panties. It's because she's trying to give them to Gundam.
Huh? Me?
Two-time
Come on.
biatch.
You used the elevator while you were holding that compass Nagito gave you, right?
Ah, that. Yeah, it was pretty strange. From start to finish, somehow the compass needle rotated 180 degrees.
Rotated 180 degrees?
Meaning, as the elevator moved between the two houses, it also rotated 180 degrees. It was probably following the building's perimeter as it rotated to the other side. Which means the exit would be on the opposite side once you arrived at the other house, right?
And thanks to that, the tower we saw on our right side when we arrived at Grape House appeared on our left side when we were at Strawberry House.
An elevator that rotates while it moves. Is that even possible? It's like something from an amusement park.
Is it even possible? Yeah, it's possible, you nerd.
A funhouse is an amusement park attraction, you know. And since the building doesn't really need to be structurally practical, it makes for some splendid fun.
That's not splendid at all. You're inhuman.
You say I'm inhuman, but I'm just a bear. So I was never human to begin with. I'm different from these lowly humans.
So we're done with the secret of the funhouse, right? Then let's start talking about the important stuff. What's the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru? And how'd they combine it with the pillar?
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now.
He's so mad.
As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
Octagon. Wait, how many does it have? 8?
I see!
Huh.
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah. You're just making fun of me now.
I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Place befitting the name Octagon is probably here?
Here!
What? What?
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
What? Is that even, what? Okay, I just clicked somewhere.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house?
I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever. Makes sense, right?
If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one,
That's basically the gist of it. The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse, which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense too. I figured gravity
Like me,
killed him.
The killer probably realized the secret of the funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
The funhouse itself is the weapon. So they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
No, it doesn't. What does this mean? How did the killer use that to murder Nekomaru? And who's the killer who did that? Trial suspended.
Hiya!
Well, hello there. I thought of a new bad word called monomy. Monomy. I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Then let me say it right away. Heh, I'm already used to insults and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Monomy is a serious stufalty. What? That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stufatly, huh? Tisk, tisk, tisk. That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect jet stream attack incorporating all 3 of these words would be ta-da! Stufatly! What? There's a fat hidden in there?
Okay, everyone, all together now. Monemy is a serious stufatly.
Got her. Got her. All right. Trial resume.
Hello. I hope your day is well. I I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Okay. Alright, dot.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon.
Well, it had to be something stupid like that.
Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Is it really alright to accept a situation so easily?
What are you gonna do, not accept it?
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's Mekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Akane! You were drooling waterfalls?
Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
How they killed Nekomaru.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Cause of death, huh? It's horrible damage if he was beaten senseless with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death? By falling.
I see!
Yeah! Finally, I get to answer the question.
That's it? I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
That I don't know yet.
Oh, I know exactly what happened. Let me answer it.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
You sure are talking a lot this time, Gundam. Are you guilty? You have a guilty conscience?
But my gut is going crazy right now.
If Nekomaru left, did the killer shove Nekomaru from? He didn't.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside, the other door won't open. Which means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
That must be the threshold of that elevator.
Alright, so go try the sleep button on what he
When
said.
the elevator is on the
Kazuichi
1st
said.
floor, you can't go through the door.
It'd be impossible.
Then, after locking they moved the and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator? As long as there's a moving object inside,
No, that's wrong! That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Like, I got
So
this whole
that's
thing figured
how-
out, guys. I just don't know who did it for
However,
sure.
Even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There
Nope.
would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes?
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
Way to create a drop from inside the elevator and Nagamaru's still in it. Shaki seems to have an idea, but I was gonna say, what could that be? Well, maybe the wire and the doorknob, you know? Do, 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 do.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That
Yeah,
arrangement
that's what she said.
The hammer is suspicious.
Shut up.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
Nope.
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
There we
I
go.
agree with that!
I agree! Break.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it?
Sure did.
That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Yeah,
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
maybe?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If
Crazy.
the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob.
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair.
Then he woke up.
That's right. He was suspended in midair.
Huh?
The killer tied up Mekamaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Mekamaru in midair.
That's right! He was so well hung!
Oh
Kinda
my
like-
god.
You better not finish that sentence.
The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Oh god, seriously? It's the only thing that makes sense, guy.
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Why?
If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
Okay.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
I can't back down! It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
Hiya!
Allow me to cut through those words!
Look at my little twitchy hair.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake
Am
up?
I the only person that pays attention to what people
He
say
has
in this
an alarm
game?
inside
I
his
swear.
phone. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode.
See, in the last game, like, friggin' Super Detective Girl and Byakuya were like, hey, we noticed a lot of stuff too, and it made it kind of interesting. This one, everyone's just a freaking idiot. No one knows anything, except for Nagito, and he's just like a punk. Anyway, sorry, it's annoying to me.
Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why,
I guess Chiaki's pretty good.
if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right?
She doesn't really speak up a lot like she knows what's going on, though.
Instinctively, your body would start moving. Mekamaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off.
Yeah.
In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
Yeah.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the door to come off. The reason that even happened was because my full power. It's because he already broke the doorknob. Nekomaru put off his power, grabbing the doorknob with both hands, but clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1 million horsepower. Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck in here. Is that really what it was? And the clue that Nekomaru left behind.
So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia?
Oh my
If I'm a
God!
fucking pig.
No.
Get outta here.
I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
This guy, he gets off on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Yeah, he fell on the pillar. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I could think of that happened to him was he collided with the pillar.
I see!
I see! I got it!
When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Why are you asking? It's obvious. There's freaking oil all over the top of it.
The pillar!
Yeah, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
Well, not really why oil was spilled all over the place,
See,
but
I
that's
told you
why
the
oil
pillar
was on the
weapon.
pillar.
My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Oh yeah.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. Because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
No, you didn't.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
Even Monokuma said everyone missed it,
And
so
if we found
you're wrong.
Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
I mean, as many cases as we've done in this game where people mess with the time just so they can have their alibis, and we're like trusting clocks now. All right, whatever.
Here's yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know.
Okay, whatever. Can't choke up at a time like this, just a little more to find the truth. There should definitely be a clue breaking through this contradiction.
We headed for Grape Tower. Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
His time of death and the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
Killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. That's gotta be it!
Well, they can't. They can't mess with this alarm in his chest. Let's see.
We headed for Grape Tower.
Radio clock, that's probably it.
Before 7 a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside was set for 7.
Nekomaru died.
His time of death and one of those must.
The killer probably did some They probably messed with the clock inside.
No, that's wrong. Ha!
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Shut up, it doesn't matter.
That's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
Which would be correct,
If
yes.
there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
No, we don't.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Oh, please believe me.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. I think if I focus, I think I should be able to... Oh, we gotta go do the logic drive. Hooray! Logic drive. I'm kind of actually glad to see a logic drive because we get a lot of questions answered. We get 3 answered, which would take the Animu characters like, 30 minutes to figure out. All right. What did Tommy and the others misunderstand? The time of the building? What clock was tampered with? The building's clocks. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses!
All coming together! You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
She's right, that's the main problem. I need to clarify how much the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. It's definitely next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be in our time?
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down?
If only I heard the sound when he fell.
Oops. We got
I
it.
agree with that.
We got it. Don't worry, girl. We got it. Connie knows when.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Well, she was in the nice room. And I think Nagito was too, right? He was in the nice room, so maybe they got better... I think they're soundproof, aren't they? Or were they? I forget.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
Rumbling sound we heard 5:30 a.m. It's like the answer to how much time was off. 2 hours.
I see!
I mean, do I really have to pick that? Let me do
Nekomaru's
some basic
alarm went
math.
off at 7:30. And if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
For
The
alibis.
reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
And to get him out. That's true. Actually, I didn't think about that. But yes, both.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success.
But I
That's
guess
all
it doesn't
means.
really matter about alibis when he woke up. So I guess that's more important. Besides the time, the killer also used a specific thing. They were trying to lure out Nekomaru when the specific thing is the Monokuma Tai Chi, right?
I see!
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning,
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m., and if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Jeez, how outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. I remember that. Yeah, turned out after all, so I guess can't be helped.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
I mean, everyone, yeah.
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Putting your foot in your mouth?
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
No.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
They're gonna blame it on... It's not Nagito, I don't think.
Who's the bastard?
You're the only one!
I don't think it's him, though. But it could be.
The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
But Sonya didn't hear it either.
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
Sonya didn't either.
You're definitely fucking lying.
So, Wait, who didn't hear? Sonny didn't hear it, and did Chiaki hear it? Was she in the nice room too? Because Akane took the crappy room along with me, and I heard it. So if Gundam was in the other nice room, then why did he hear it and come out?
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House, but I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Oh yeah.
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it.
Oh
but
yeah. Gotcha.
It wasn't
I
that.
gotcha.
I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
Still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Sonny and Chiaki's secret is what they have in common. The secret poisons the killer. I don't know what word would it want me to use. It's the nice room. I forget what the word was. Something room. Not you. It's never the first one. L? Luxury? Nope. The deluxe rooms!
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Guys are right. Equal grade. The deluxe room is soundproof. Yes. I thought that's what he said. I wasn't too sure though.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent? Now then, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Oh, hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Where you at? Where you at?
You're the only
Yeah! Got him! I'm so right about it.
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Unless they're been misled, but
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry
you
House
there?
Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
blame it on your pets. Say that one of your hamsters
Now that
woke you up.
mention it,
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
If only they would have like waited and then like snuck past and went to their room, you know? Oh, well. This raucous is louder than the supreme lord of the netherworld bellowing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all that noise so suddenly.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Ha ha! Got him! And we're gonna pause right here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday! Mwah, mwah! And we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay toasty, my friends.